Hey guys, today I wanted to make a video about using VLC Media Player to capture your screen using an inexpensive video capture card. Or not your screen, any kind of HDMI input could be used. However, unfortunately I plugged the thing in expecting things to work, and Linux wasn't able to properly read the card as a video capture card, and it kind of highlights the issue of using Linux in a way that the drivers weren't working. So this HDMI video capture card, I bought it while I lived in Japan. It cost me about 500 yuan. So yeah, cheap, like maybe maybe around $5 at the time. The Japanese yen has tanked since then, but that's beside the point. I wanted to get this thing working, so I went ahead and looked for some guides. I came across this guide, so it goes into detail about how we can make some small additions to the kernel, which will allow us to be able to read the card. Actually, VLC Player still doesn't work with it, but FFmpeg, which we'll be installing, does work. So I'll go ahead and show you how to use this guide and show you how I got things set up.
Before we jump ahead into the tutorial, I think it's really important to establish whether or not it's actually not possible for you to use the capture card. For example, I just ran this ffplay command on two systems running fresh installs of Arch Linux, and they both were able to capture the card just fine. So I'm guilty of following this tutorial without fully checking whether or not I really needed to do it. But if you do find that the ffplay command in the tutorial doesn't allow you to capture your card, you may find the rest of the demonstration useful.
So let's go ahead and start following this tutorial. I'm going to use Micro to create a text file. If you don't have Micro or you prefer something else, sure, you can use Nano or Vim. I prefer Micro. I think it's easy to use. I'm in a terminal enough to make it worthwhile having a slightly bigger file on the system. So I'm already in the root directory, so I just need to put etc udev rules.d. So these are directories, and now I'm going to name the text file. To make things easy, I'm just going to copy paste it from the guide. And so that's 91 HDMI to USB MS2109, which is the name of the USB. So hit enter. Then I'm going to copy paste the code block from the guide as scripted. Control save. It's going to ask me, or it's going to say permission denied. Do you want to save this file using sudo? Hit yes. And then Control Q to quit. And now we're ready to just update the changes. The line of code you want to use is sudo udev adm control reload dash rules. Once you run this code, you should update the system, and once you've unplugged the video capture card and plugged it back in, you'll be ready to go. So now we've changed some of the rules for the USB stick. We're going to run the script that comes with the tutorial. So first we're going to go ahead and hit type in sudo pacman-S ffmpeg, which is a software used for it's used for video conversion. It can be used for streaming. It's got a lot of different functions, and this one, which is v4121 loopback, yeah, I actually am not that sure what this does. So it doesn't really give much of an explanation, but it's required by the guide, so I've just installed it, if I'm honest. Yeah, so go ahead and run this command. In my case, they're already installed, so I don't really need to do that. So I'm going to press N. Now we're ready to go ahead and launch the video streaming script. So I'll just copy and paste that here, and we get a full screen. Right now you can't actually see much going on. It's connected to a computer that's turned off. So let's go ahead and turn it on and see what comes up.
After using this solution for a short while, I actually started encountering some issues trying to get the card to connect. As you can see here, there's basically no visual information coming through the card. I'm not sure why that is. So just double check that recording through the capture card using FF Play is a plausible solution before going ahead and making any UDEV rule changes to your system.